that field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 of them all ready to go. Working their way around now, they're going to split the tram lines. Yeah, they come up towards the tram lines now. And we're racing and away they go. Right, so we'll work that out now as they go in there. It's the number 16 that goes in there first. That's Manisi and Como. Manisi and Como, they took a whole shot there, down into the 180s. They roll now. Line is turned into the 180s. Oh, and a little bit of a collision. They're going into the 180s. Hopefully they can sort themselves out. The 31 of Jack Moore leads out. Moore takes the lead. Out they go down the back straight. Jack Moore leading out there. Right up there behind him, it's Como. Como pushing hard. Up behind them now is the 88. And that is Caleb Moss that's in there. Caleb Moss pushing hard now as they work their way down through Golf Club into Bogsbend. There comes high-speed stuff for these young lads now. Through they go. And still leading out is Jack Moore, but he's being pursued heavily there by 3 carts as he works his way up over the line. Over the line they go. Moore looks over his shoulder. You don't do that now. And Como looks up on the inside and slides up. That's you have to keep his eyes open there. Jack Moore leading out there now. Fred Santiago's in there. And Como sits there in 3rd. Moss 4th. Aiden Beaumont's in there too with Kai van Rensburg and Siambongo and Thuli up behind him now as they lead out of the 180s. In the 180s they go now. They roll out. It's real nose-to-tail stuff now as they work their way down towards Cosmic Corner and pushing through Jack Moore, who was overtaken and looks up on the inside. Moore's got the inside line and into Golf Club he goes now. Moore leads them out. Moore leads out. Santiago's there with him. Out of Bogsbend they come now. Yeah, they come towards the Kiosk King, past the commentary box they go. And still Moore pushing hard there. And Como now up into 3rd. Como looks up on the inside. Is he going to make it down towards the towards holes? Como looks into holes there. Oh, they're 2-3 abreast going in. Como around the outside, but it looks like he's been taken up on the inside. Up towards the 180s they go now. And we've got a red flag situation. The red flag comes out. Something has gone awry. So we have a red flag situation. The race will be stopped. And they'll have to go and regroup and we'll have to restart the race.
We are about to restart this one all over again.
Right, so the pace car takes them all towards the tram lines. They split the tram lines, lights off, and we are racing, and away they go. They make their way down now into holes, and who's going to get it? It looks like the number 88 of Caleb Moss. Just after taking a tumble, Moss takes the lead there now as they work their way down towards the 180s. Into the 180s they go, they roll in there. And already it's hotly contested. It looks like Moore together with Nkomo's in there as well as they work their way around. They come out the 180s now. They'll peel off towards the right hand, get onto that loud pedal, go up onto the curbstone and push hard down the back straight. And making their way down now. You can see the 88 and the 31 there on the front. That's Caleb Moss and Jack Moore having it. And Moore takes the lead. Moore takes it into Golf Club. Moore leading out of Golf Club. He keeps looking behind him. I just keep looking ahead of me and see where I'm going now as they come down through Bogsbend. Moore leads out. He's got Caleb Moss there behind him and then Como lying there in 3rd place. No, yeah, it's a Como in there. Como leads through now. Up over the start-finish line they go now. 3 abreast down towards holes. Who's it going to be? It looks to me like Moss takes the lead. Moss jumps into the lead there. Caleb Moss now showing them the way around. And he's been hotly contested there by Jack Moore. Moss up on the inside. Moore sticks there. It's a 5-cart battle there on the front end of the field. And they're getting down 6. Someone joins them. They work their way around. And it looks like it's still Moss that leads out. Out of the 180s, they come down the back straight. Moore goes up on the inside. Moore drafts him side by side now. Oh, Moore gets pushed off there. But he comes back. Looks around him now. Dives into Cosmic Corner. Moore sits there now. It looks like Moss goes up on his inside. Is he going to get a switchback back at him? Through they go now. Out they come here. Moss goes back into the lead. Moore sits there behind him. Right up there behind him now, it's Fred Santiago. Fred sits up there behind him. Santiago in 3rd place now. Over the start-finish line they go, and it's still Moss leading out. Santiago up alongside Moore, but he doesn't be able to get past there. They work their way into that long sweeping right hand of holes now, up the short straight towards the 180s. They come into the 180s now, and already they're peeling in. Someone's up on the inside. Someone's taken the inside line, but a little bit too hot. Manages to find himself in second place as Moss slides through. Caleb Moss in there now, and back Moore's back in second. It's chopping and changing, it's slicing and dicing now as they work their way up towards Cosmic Corner. In there now, it's the 70-60 of Aidan Beaumont who's starting to upset the apple cart now as they go down into Golf Club. Into Golf Club they go now, working their way out of Golf Club. Frankie, this is really, really hotly contested stuff in the Bambino class.
Oh, yeah, hell, definitely indeed. But it's all about Caleb Moss in the front end of the field as he makes his way through Kiosking. As he races down the start-finish line and heads into turn number one. They're fanning out there behind him. Oh, they're changing positions. There was a bit of contact there, but Moss still holds out of turn one. Moss and then Christian Verheil was in that second position when they crossed the line, but there's nothing between these six machines as they dive into the 180s through hairpin one, running it out now onto the rumble strip in hairpin number two. Through the S's they go now and work their way down onto their back main. And these six little hot shots are right there with each other. Here comes Jack Moore. Moore sits up on the outside, has got the lead there. Moss is right in there as well as they race through Cosmic Corner and under braking into the double right-hander that is Golf Club.
Right, so now they're leading out of Golf Club here into Bogs Bend. Still, it's Moss. No, it's not Moss that's leading there now. It's the 31 that's come through. Jack Moore is leading out. He's got Moss behind him. Right up there behind him, it's the 61 that sits there. And through they come now. And next cart there, it's Aidan Beaumont leading out. Christian Verheil, Frodo Santiago, Jack Moore, Caleb Moss, Mateo Mason in there too. MJ Tequisa's in there. Kai van Rensburg in 8th. Manalisi Nkomo sits in 9th, and Rafael De Silva sitting down in 10th, followed by Sia Bongo and Tule. So that's your top 11 that are rolling out there. Those are those first two groups now as they lead out of the 180s. The leaders are pushing pretty hard there now. And it's the 31 of Jack Moore has got the lead. 3 abreast going on into Cosmic. It's not going to work out as they peel out. Guys are diving in hard there now as they go down into Golf Club. Into Golf Club they go. They come out there now and work their way through. It's brilliant stuff. It's the number 16 that takes the lead there. And Como goes to the front. Well, and Como came way back and just dived up into the front now. Over the line they go. So it's Manalisi and Como that leads out from Aidan Beaumont. Christian Verheil's in there too. Friday Santiago's in there, followed by Jack Moore. Caleb Moss down in 6th, followed by Mateo Mason, MJ Tequiso, Kai van Rensburg and Maddox Mason. Brilliant stuff there as they go into the 180s now. It's a right left and then a long right hand again.
Right, but it's all happening up front there now as they work their way through the S's and onto the back straight. Running hard down the back straight. Jack Moore sits out there in P1. Here comes Nkomo. Nkomo's got him up on the inside. Aidan Beaumont's in there. Caleb is inside that fight as well. Caleb Moss as they swing it right through Cosmic and into Golf Club. Working their way out of Golf Club now. There's nothing between these youngsters. Out of Bogs Bend they come. Running through, and Moore is the man that's in P1. Then in second position, it's Santiago. Santiago sitting there in that second place as they work their way through the pit S's. Here comes Santiago. Santiago's got the inside line there on Jack Moore, and Caleb Moss sits in there behind Nkomo. That's a heck of a fight as they work their way through the kink and into the 180s. And now it is Jack Moore that sits there in P1 into the 180s. They go, but Nkomo has a look up on his inside. Nkomo runs him wide. And here comes Santiago. And right behind Santiago, it's Moss as they swing it into that right-hander. Working down the back straight they go now. Here comes Nkomo. He's sitting up on the inside. Look at Beaumont. Beaumont's sitting up on the outside there, or should I say the inside of Moss. It's a heck of a fight, Francois, going down into Golf Club.
Right, so they come out of Bogs Bend now. Santiago leading out there now. He's got Nkomo with him there. There's Jack Moore, and Caleb Moss sits up there behind him now as they work their way through. It's last lap board. Last lap board. Now it's going to be a real tussle now as they go down into holes. Into holes they go. Santiago leading out. His head is down. He's chomping at the bit there now as he leads his way out up towards the 180s up the short straight. There's Moss going a little bit wide there now. And Moore sits there in second place. Santiago, what a race here from the young lad now. He's just got to keep it on the black stuff and keep his foot firmly stuck down on the right-hand side of the floorboard now as they come out of the 180s. It's going to be, excuse me, a left and a right. And comes through Jack Moore, hard on the gas. Is he going to draft Santiago? He's drafting him down towards Cosmic Corner. Jack Moore's got this one firmly stuck in. He slides up on the inside of Santiago. Into Golf Club they go. Frankie, bring him home.
Right through Golf Club. They come now, working their way towards us. Right up front, it's Jack Moore. Santiago sits there behind him, followed there by Moss. Behind Moss, it's Nkomo. And behind Nkomo, it is Kai van Rensburg. To the checkered flag they go. They virtually side by side across the line. And it's a photo finish there between Santiago, between Moss and between Moore across. Right, the lights are about.
Right, so they make their way now out of the holes and down into the 180s. Trying to pick up the. It could be the silver out front, but I have to have a look see. They're working their way out the 180 complex. Here they come out now. And it's the 69, it's Rafael de Silva. He's got Moss right up behind him. Rafael de Silva leads out. There's Caleb Moss in second. Moss looks up on the inside, but there ain't any space there. Mateo Mason's in there. So Moss and Mason, the two championship contenders, are added in the front there now as they work their way into Golf Club. Into Golf Club they go. Work their way out of Golf Club now, and it still looks like it's going to be Moss. Moss tries to come through. He's having a go there at the Silva. Silva decides now I'll hold on to the lead.
Yeah, but the man to watch out for there is Maddox Mason that sits there in sixth place. He comes from the Rancard Club as they race down into turn number one. Look at those, there's about 6 of them in that top group that's broken away from everybody else, and they pan down into the first of the 180s. Through the 180s they go now, running it out high and wide. And I'll tell you what, for nothing, as they work their way through, it's is that the Silver that sits out there in P1. Down the back straight they go. There, yes, it is the Silver. Then Mosspass jumps on his outside as they come through. Then Nkomo is also in that fight. That's working its way through Cosmic and out of Golf Club.
Right into Golf Club they go. They work their way out down. Still the Silver leads out. Here's Moss alongside him. And then it's the 16 that sits there next to him. Como in there as well. Right, and Como sitting in P3 now. They all go up on the inside. They all go defensive now as they come up towards holes. And Moss has a look at the lead. No, the Silver keeps it good there as they work their way through. Now Moss up on the inside. Side by side they go down to the 180s. They're coming up towards the 180s now. Moss and the Silver holding steady, and the Como gets through there on Moss. Moss leaving the door open. 3 cards abreast in the 180s. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
Down the back straight they go now. It is Rafael de Silva that's out there in P1. I just saw Jack Moore have a look as well. Moore sits up on the inside of Nkomo. Moss has been bundled down, and then behind them is the 28 of Maddox Mason. Man, it's old dogfight that's making its way through Bogs Bend now. Heading towards us. De Silva still out there in P1. Then Moore sits there in that second place. Moss is right in that group as well as they run through Kiosk King. There they go, down the home straight. They're looking all over. Have a look there at De Silva. Right behind him is Moore. Then it's Nkomo. Right behind Nkomo, it is Moss. And right behind Moss, it's Mason.
Right, so De Silva keeping these guys totally honest. It's very defensive. They've got to go around the outside if they want to do anything there as they go into the 180 complex. De Silva's in there and Jack Moore's in there. Jack Moore sits in second place. Moore's having a look. Como sits there in third. Jack Moore goes wide, tries to cut back, and he sits right up again the tailpipe, and he goes alongside De Silva. De Silva stays up on the inside, and Como looks up on the inside. De Silva keeping him honest. Silver goes into Golf Club, works his way out of Golf Club, box bend. Jack Moore still sits there, and Como's in third. Then it's going to be Moss. Moss has got the 28 up behind him. 29, that's Mason. Mason sits there with him. Maddox Mason sitting there in P5.
Well, I've noticed joining that party as well is the number 14 machine of Kai van Rensburg. He's hooked up onto the back end of that group. That's working out of turn number 1. But we have a look at them now. Here they go. Nkomo looks up on the inside. Nkomo goes for the lead. No, Nkomo is there in that second position. That's Malisi Nkomo. That is there in that second place, but he might lose it to De Silva. Yes, coming through now. Rafael De Silva says, I want to have a go as well as they come through De Silva. Look at Caleb Moss. He's right up there as well. Yes, Mason Maddox. And my word, what a fight they're having as they head down into Golf Club.
Right into Golf Club they go. The leader down to Box Bend coming up towards us now. Jack Moore and Como. Then it's De Silva. Then up behind De Silva it's Caleb Moss. Then Matteo Mason. Then Kai van Rensburg as they work their way down towards Holds. Down towards Holds they go, and we've still got 3 laps in it.
Nothing much in here as they come out of turn number 1. Jack Moore had his head up front there. Manalisi Nkomo was out there in that second place when they crossed the line. He's not second now, he's there in that third position. He's that young man in cart number 16. We've got a new leader. But for how long? It is Rafael De Silva that's got his nose up there in P1. Jack Moore is in that second place as they head down the back straight. Then it's Manalisi Nkomo that's coming through as well. Caleb Moss just pans out on his outside. They're all choosing different racing lines as they work their way through Golf Club and Bogs Bend.
Right, some great moves there in Golf Club now. Jack Moore leads out. Manalisi Nkomo sits in second. Third place, Rafael De Silva. Then it's Caleb Moss. Then it's going to be Kai van Sale working his way through. Up behind Van Sale is the 28 cart there. That's Tekiso, who's also in the party here. But here comes Jack Moore. Moore leads out. And then up behind him, De Silva and Como. And they work their way through with Caleb Moss sitting there in P4. A brilliant tussle here for the front. Right, so some brilliant stuff there as Moore leads out. And Como tries to get past De Silva in the 180s. A little bit of a big tall order there, but nonetheless hangs on in third as he drafts his way up towards Cosmic Corner. Caleb Moss sits in fourth. He would like to get a little bit closer there now to get some more points on the board. Moss has a look up on the inside. Oh, just not the big enough gap for him to slide in there. But still out front, Jack Moore really showing his worth here now. De Silva holding him up. Here comes Nkomo and here comes Moss. Moss going to try and squeeze Nkomo wide, going into the kiosk, which he does. Up behind him, Kai van Sale pushing pretty hard now as they work their way. Lost that board out now as they make their way down towards Hull.
Right, it's all about this final lap. It's all about this one. Jack Moore, Rafael De Silva, Caleb Moss. They were the first 3 carts across the line as they head into hairpin number 1. Jack Moore and De Silva, they have broken away from the rest of the field as they swing down towards us. Here comes Moore, here comes De Silva. Caleb Moss is in that third place. Man, it was a group of 6-7 of them at one stage of the game. They've punched the hole between themselves. And look at this dice coming down towards us now behind Caleb Moss. And coming through there is MJ Takiso. He's coming through as well. MJ Takiso is also busy working his way through. But we go back. There's Takiso. No, that is Jack Moore. Those are the first 2. Jack Moore in P1 towards the checkered flag. It's going to be Moore that comes home in first position, with Rafael De Silva coming home third, followed there by Caleb Moss. Then it's Kiso that comes through as well. That is that top group.
Racked and stacked up behind each other.
Check my color, please.
Right, they come up towards the start-finish line. They traverse the tram lines. Lights off and we go racing. there now, and it's having a look there, seeing could be Nkoma that goes to the front there. Having a look then, so it's going to be Rafael de Silva that goes in there. Rafael de Silva's in second place. Silva pushing hard there. Got Jack Moore in there as well. Jack Moore's in there too as they make their way now up the back straight up towards Cosmic Corner. Three abreast going into Cosmic. It doesn't work. Someone's got a queue. And they work their way now into Golf Club. Into Golf Club they go. And they work their way around now past the Kiosk King. Through the Kiosk King they go now. And that's the 69 there of Rafael de Silva that leads out. De Silva leads out there. De Silva takes them to the line. They start crossing the line now. Tekiso in second, Jack Moore third, Friday Santiago fourth. Norman's in there as well. And Nkoma as they work their way through Holzoek, making their way up towards the 180s. Coming up towards the 180s now, and they all sort of line astern, jostling for positions. In they go. Rafael de Silva leads out Tekiso, Jack Moore, Santiago, Aidan Beaumont, Maddox Benson, and Manalisi Nkoma. That's the sum of the front six now that work their way out of the 180s down the back straight now on towards Cosmic Corner. Still that man, Rafael de Silva leads out there with Tekiso up behind him. Jack Moore a little way back with Norman in there. John Norman sitting in P4. They make their way through the kink there, part of box down towards the kink, and everyone egging their drivers on as they work their way through the kiosk down towards holes. There's the leaders.
All right, we've got the leaders going down into turn one. That's Rafael de Silva. MJ Tekiso is in there. And then we see Freight Santiago. He sits there just behind Jack Moore. Jack Moore in third. Santiago in that fourth position as he looks up on the inside and makes a move on Moore. Makes it stick and then loses it again. And Jack Moore takes that position right back again there from Santiago. That is there back in that fourth position. So Moore and Santiago working their way down the back straight. There's a lot of little dices going on behind them. And there's a big one going up there in the lead between De Silva and Tekiso as they exit out of turn box bend. So we're picking up the rest of them coming through to us now. There's a lot of them coming through there. Behind Santiago, Nkomo's in their group, Beaumont's in their group, Moss is in their group, Van Rensburg and the two Masons are in that group as well. That's working their way down into turn one.
Right, so still being led out there by Rafael de Silva. De Silva with Tekiso behind him, and then it's Jack Moore. Moore sits in there now, having a look to make the decision, and there's a little bit of jostling for positions as they go into the 180s, inside, outside. A couple of good moves in there now as the middle pack. Some of the youngsters bouncing in their cars, trying to make them go faster. It ain't going to go much faster, but they're pushing on there now. So still it's Rafael de Silva leading up. De Silva being followed there by Tekiso and Jack Moore now as they make their way down into Golf Club. Up behind them, Friday Santiago, Manalisi Nkoma, Caleb Moss and Aidan Beaumont all in that one there as they work their way out of Golf Club.
Here comes Santiago. Behind Santiago, we've got Nkomo. Caleb Boss is in that group as well. There we follow the 76. That's Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont is in that group as well. But here comes Rafael de Silva with MJ Tekiso in that second position. Coming through now is Santiago in that whole group there. Behind Santiago, we've got the 28 of Mason coming through. That's Matteo Mason. He's just there behind Moss, followed there by Kai van Rensburg. That's a lot of them, but here we go back to the man in P1, Rafael de Silva, Tekiso, MJ Tekiso and Jack Moore. That's first, second and third, and they have broken away from everybody else, and Moore looks up on the inside. They are side by side as they work their way down into Golf Club. Through Golf Club, that group go of first, second and third go now. We pick up this next group that's working its way there out, and that group is led there by Santiago.
Well, Santiago leading out there. Up behind him now it's Nkomo, it's Aidan Beaumont. Up behind Beaumont it's Caleb Moss, and then it's Matteo Mason. But have a look at your leader there, Rafael de Silva, ahead there of Takiso. Then it's Jack Moore. Then it's Santiago. Then Nkomo together there with Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont decides he's going to jump a place and doesn't manage to get it stick there. Loses a bit of traction, manages to come back in the 180s now as they lead into the 180s. Have a look there at this crowd there. Santiago in that yellow and orange cart. He leads out there, and right up behind him there is Manalisi Nkomo.
Right, we pick up the leader, Rafael de Silva. He's now pulling away from MJ Takiso, but Jack Moore is hassling him. And here we look at Freddy Santiago that is being hunted down there by Nkomo. Nkomo and Aidan Beaumont is in that group as well. Then behind Beaumont, it's Matteo Mason, Kai van Rensburg, and Caleb Moss. Caleb Moss is dropping down this leaderboard like a stone. He sits out there in that 9th position. When they crossed the start-finish line, Beaumont's moved up a couple of positions, and so has Matteo Mason. Nkomo has dropped down at least 2 positions. He goes down to P7 as they work their way into the 180s.
Aidan Beaumont trying to get traction on the kart there now as he sits up there ahead now of Santiago, who's lost a couple of positions. Up behind him it's Matteo Mason. So as they work their way up to the top now. And your leader, Rafael de Silva, is now pulling away. And there's a little bit of chopping and changing going into Golf Club. Into Golf Club they go as they lead around. They work their way through. It's going to be the 76 of Aidan Beaumont, who's now slipped up into second. Aidan Beaumont now in second place. Now he's going to go up and see if he can close down the... Oh, and he loses the front end and turns himself around. Totally uncalled for. Puts his head on his hands. And what did I do that for? First there's a little bit of a wobbly before he gets going again. And he's going to lose a bit of position. He's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to come back into contention.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aidan Beaumont's lost a whole heap of positions. He was hammering that steering wheel, hammering the side part, hammering everything he could with his fists. He's not a happy camper. He crossed the line in 10th position to start his final lap. Not what he wanted, but it's all about Rafael de Silva, that man in kart number 69 on the final lap that runs it through Golf Club, working his way out of Golf Club now. Here he comes out of Box Bend. He's all on his own towards the checkered flag. Rafael de Silva is going to bring it home in P1. Then it will be Takiso that finishes there in that second position, or will it not be? It looks like it. Then coming across the line as well is Santiago that finishes in third. Right behind Santiago, Jack Moore, Matteo Mason, Nkomo crosses the line.
Up towards the tram lines they go now as the pace car will get the hammer down. The lights are on, the lights are off, and away they go. Off they go now. Let's have a look-see. There comes Moss. Moss looks up on the inside. Moss looks like he gets the whole shot. Caleb Moss gets the whole shot and works his way through up towards the 180s as the rest of the field jostle for positions. Into the 180s they go now. And Moss still leading out. It's a whole gaggle of carts up there behind him now as they work their way out there now. It looks like it could be Moore that sits there with him. Indeed it is. Moore sits in second place and he's pushing Caleb Woodendale, making his way down towards Cosmic Corner, and Moore's up on the inside. Moore's up on the inside and moves up into first place with a nice maneuver going into Cosmic Corner. Somebody running a little bit wayward there now. And keep an eye there now. Moore leading out. Moore sits in one with Moss in two. They work their way past the kiosk now, down towards the start-finish line, down towards Holes Corner. Jack Moore leads out over Caleb Moss, Matteo Mason, then Manalekisi Nkomo, Aidan Beaumont, MJ Takiso, Rafael de Silva and Kai van Rensburg make up your top 8. They 3 abreast going into the 180s, and it looks like it could be Nkomo that went through. I think Manalisi Nkomo slipped through. Indeed he has, ahead of Moore. Moss finds himself in third place now as they go down the back straight. Lever, look at this. Seismic stuff now. Now once again, Moore goes up on the inside. Moss looks up on the outside of him but manages to sneak through in second place. through he goes in now, works his way around out of Golf Club. Coming out of Golf Club, it's Jack Moore. Moore leads out over Caleb Moss. Then sitting third there is going to be Nkomo. Nkomo in third. They work their way now through the Kiosk King down towards the start-finish line, making their way down towards holes. They tend to go a little bit defensive. It's the fourth and final heat. You want to hold on to your positions. They fan out as they go down into holes. Still Jack Moore that takes the lead there. Moore with Moss up behind him. Moore goes totally defensive. He takes the inside line. Moss looking to go on the outside, and Como sits there with him. Jack Moore is still leading out. He brings Caleb Moss with him in second place. It's lap 3 of 8 now as they exit the 180s. Keep an eye there on Jack Moore. He goes hard and fast. Tries to go slightly defensive there. Caleb Moss sits alongside him. Yeah, oh, I tell you what, they're all in it to win it here. And going through is Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont slips up into third now, and poor Nkomo looks like he got relegated 2 places coming out of Golf Club as the leaders come past the commentary box, and it's still Moore leading out there with Moss. Up behind Moss, it's Aidan Beaumont. They make their way now towards holes as they go across. They all go to the inside line as they run defensive, and Como decides to attack on the outside. They fan out once again, and still Moore takes the lead. Jack Moore still leads out there over Caleb Moss. Aidan Beaumont's in there, MJ Takiso, Mandlisi and Como's in there, Rafael De Silva's in there. De Silva currently with a personal best time as they go through the 180s. Coming out there now, it's still that man Jack Moore leading out. Young Jack Moore has really had a fantastic day today here as he exits the 180s down the back straight. Down the back straight he goes down towards Cosby Corner. Jack Moore has a look around. He sees Caleb Moss on his outside, but he's got the inside line. Moss dives across the bow there of Aidan Beaumont. Into Golf Club they go now. They work their way out of Golf Club through Bogs Bend down towards the Kiosk King, the S's. Coming along the S's now. Jack Moore still looking over his shoulders. Don't need to look back, son. Look in front of you. You're not going back there. Moore makes his way now. Once again, defensive line up on the inside. Moss goes around his outside. It's a dice down to the corner. Who's it going to be? And it looks like Beaumont squeezes through. Aidan Beaumont watches them pushing each other wide. He takes the inside line and takes the lead. So Aidan Beaumont moves towards the front now. And he's a pretty nimble lad, so you might want to hang on to this or try and check out. But they're pretty even paced now as they work their way through the 180s. As they go. And they're pushing pretty hard. Keep an eye, Aidan Beaumont trying to make his car go faster, but it's not working. Okay, Jack Moore up alongside him. So in they go now. Aidan Beaumont still holding on there now with Jack Moore. It looks like someone else is moving to third place. It could be De Silva. We'll have a look-see. Yeah, they come up towards us now. It's still Nkomo sits there in third, and De Silva's gone up to fourth. So De Silva sits there in fourth now as they all make their way down towards the holes. And having a look at Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont goes defensive. He's up on the inside. Beaumont on the inside, and Nkomo goes through there and goes wide and loses 2 quick places. Moore gets through there, and so too does that man Rafael De Silva. De Silva also manages to peek in there, and it looks like Caleb Windall's coming back in Nkomo too. Nkomo manages over to fourth. So he works his way through. Caleb Moss sits there. Right, so they're pushing hard now. Jack Moore, Aidan Beaumont, and Beaumont doesn't see around his outside. Is someone slipping right around the outside? And I think that could be Rafael De Silva. We'll have to wait and see now as they come around out of the bend. And indeed it is. It's a 69 of De Silva that goes towards the front. Jack Moore's got to catch up now, and Aidan Beaumont made a silly mistake as they make their way now down towards holes. So De Silva goes to the front, and he's going to be pretty happy with that now. Rafael De Silva followed by Jack Moore, then Aidan Beaumont, Mandlisi and Como, and MJ Takiso, your top 5 as they work their way up towards the 180s. Brilliant stuff here from the young lads. And Moore goes back to the front there with Beaumont. Moore and Beaumont there now, De Silva down to third. So coming through there now, it's Jack Moore. Jack Moore brings there with him Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont sitting in second place. Moore gets his head down now as he tries to build up a bit of speed there now with Aidan Beaumont up behind him. There comes De Silva. De Silva steps through and takes second there from Moore. And it looks like Nkomo wants to slide through and does, and forces Moore a little bit wide there as they work their way through. So pushing through. And they're going through now. In the lead, there's going to be, looks like the silver. No, it's not. It's the 76 of Aidan Beaumont. Beaumont leads out over Rafael de Silva, MJ Tekiso, Jack Moore, Mandakusi Nkoma, and Caleb Moss. So they work their way through. Keep an eye here. The lads are going all. Keep an eye there on Aidan Beaumont. He goes totally defensive. Aidan Beaumont trying to keep the likes of Jack Moore and company up behind him. Jack Moore sits there in third. Here comes, looks like the silver coming through, and he takes the lead. Here they go again, 3 by 3, working their way down towards Cosmic Corner. 4 by 4, they go towards Cosmic Corner. Someone's got to give here. Oh, and they nearly touch. But it looks like Nkomo's gone to the front, right around the outside. Brilliant drive there by him now as he takes Jack Moore with him in second place. I tell you what, they are chopping and changing something dramatically here now as they come through the kink down towards the flag, and the checkered flag is out. Who's going to take this one? Is it going to be young Aidan Beaumont? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like Aidan Beaumont's taken it. No, it's 11. It's Nkomo that takes it. Tekiso takes it from Jack Moore. Rafael de Silva, Caleb Moss,
MJ Tekiso comes home in P1. As a matter of fact, there was only 1.5 seconds between the first 8 carts across the line. Tekiso, Moore, de Silva, Moss, Beaumont, Nkomo, Mason, and van Rensburg.
Overall win for the day, you must be very happy. Talk to me about how the weekend went.
Well, the weekend went good. Today went good. 2 first, obviously, and a 5th, and then a 2nd in the last race. But it was a good weekend for us, and it was all good.
But on the weekend, the Bambino's racing was just phenomenal. It was just so competitive. Did you think you could come away with an overall win on the weekend?
Well, no, I didn't think I could, but I did.
And now, what's next? Are we going to stay in Bambino's for a year, or are you going to go off to Micro next year?
Well, we want to stay in Bambino for the year, so yeah, we're going to stay in Bambino.